Hello, everyone. I am Thaja Ward, a business intelligence student from Full Sail University, and we are back again with another presentation. This time, we're going to talk about ETL design. First things first, let's talk about what ETL stands for. So, ETL stands for extract, transform, and load, and it is said to be a type of data integration that refers to the three steps that it takes to integrate data from multiple sources. Now, this system takes the information and transforms it in a way that will be beneficial to the business's needs and to load it into an existing data warehouse. So before we get into the ETL modeling process, we must first discuss the key subjects that play a role in the process. Database storage is a space that is occupied on a server, whether it is on the premises of the company or if it is on a cloud, and it stores information such as text, images, and media files. Data administration enables the user to help create new updates in the data in an existing database based on the data collection's needs. So, this aspect is essential to maintaining the data in the various tables and ensuring that they stay up to date. Data virtualization alters the way the database or databases, if you have more than one, are purchased and consumed. This feature optimizes computing efficiency of any database application that is running in any data center of any cloud. So, with virtualization, we are able to control operating systems and boost the program's performance. Next, we have master data and metadata. So, metadata gives you the attributes of the data without giving you any of the data itself. Master data is the data about the business entities that provide a context for the business transactions. So, we as a company will handle this by using our master data to help with efficiency in the marketing campaigns, and this will result in a reduced cost and increased efficiency in the business. And lastly, we have data governance. Now, I won't go too in depth about data governance just because we did talk about it in the first presentation. But by implementing the steps that it takes to enforce data governance, the company will be able to bring together the business's objectives and information policy without having to implement a more expensive governance technique that may fall through. So now let's get into the actual modeling process. Now there are three ways to implement a ETL system. So that's batch processing, streaming processing, and an automated cloud data warehouse. So the most traditional way is batch processing, where the data will be processed in batches from a source database to the data warehouse. With this type of processing, you can also rely on your ETL tools, being that it is said to be kind of challenging when trying to build the enterprise ETL workflow from scratch. Next, we have stream processing. This way requires that you handle the data in streams, meaning that as the data is being written, the ETL system is able to clean and transform the data as it is on its way to the targeted data store. And finally, there is the option of building a pipeline without ETL using an automated cloud data warehouse. Now, the automated cloud data warehouse includes built-in end-to-end data management and uses a self-optimizing architecture that is designed to extract and transform data automatically to match the analytical requirements. In regards to the company that I will be working with through the duration of my master's, we will be using batch processing. So this seems like the best way to execute our overall goal. And an ETL tool that we will use is called Talent, and it is an open source data integration platform that is compatible with sources of data that are company and cloud based. And also, as discussed in our previous presentation, we'll be using the snowflake schema for our dimensional model. So possible location will be our main fact table, and then we have the country, which is a dimension table of the fact table, and then everything so on and so forth would be a subdimension table. Now let's move on to business requirements. So, as always, when gathering information to meet the requirements of the business, we must first understand the needs of that business. Like, what are we looking for, and why do they need our help? Who will this project affect the most? So, we must look into the 5-step guide to identifying those business requirements. So, identifying key stakeholders, capture stakeholder requirements, categorize requirements, interpret and record requirements, and sign off is basically going to help you to make sure that you put the key elements into that program or that database that you are creating for that company to make sure that the intended people who are going to be using this program have the tools that they need to ensure that the company is progressing as they should. And by following these steps, I was able to conclude that the business requirement for my company that I'm working with is to increase revenue by expanding the business. And lastly, we will talk about modeling and data profiling tools. So, data modeling tools speed up the process of data migration. These tools can perform various tasks which can help to create complex and innovative data models. Data profiling tools requires examining, analyzing, and creating valuable synopses of data. So, it would also help to deliver a high level overview, which in turn helps recognize quality issues, risks, and trends within that data. One tool that I will be using is Power Designer. So, Power Designer is a collaborative enterprise modeling tool produced by Sybase, but is currently owned by SAP. And it supports model-driven architecture software designs, and it stores the models into the database. And we will also be using data ladders, data profiling software, and it just provides an overview of the complex problems that could be within the data. It also saves the company on time and money, and it provides a more realistic budget with a more focused data transformation plan. And here are just the references that I used when creating my presentation. And again, I am Phaedra Ward, and have a great day.